Welcome back, guys. I trust you've been staying safe. Now, the gentleman you saw is called Ntembeko Myalois, and he is 32 years old. This case is coming from South Africa, and he's all over the news because he was seen in a viral video stabbing another woman who apparently is his own wife by name Ntembeko Myalois, and she's 26 years old. Now, both Ntembeko Myalois and his wife Ntembeko Myalois are all students, but of different institutions. And in this viral video and per reports I found through my research, Ntembeko apparently stabbed his wife 20 times. And as it stands now, he has been presented before court to face charges of attempted murder. But it turns out that there is more to this guy. He's not just facing this because this is not his first crime he has committed. It turns out that there is more in the closet of this guy. He has a lot of skeletons. But the first question is, why would he even be doing this to his own wife, whom allegedly he actually has one kid with? Now, this is the background. It's been reported that Ntembeko and his wife Ntembeko have been married for about 7 years now, and they have one kid. But apparently, Ntembeko is a very violent person, so there have been several instances of domestic abuse against his wife physically. And then it also has another dimension where he is currently facing another case in court where he has been charged with sexual assault against another lady whilst he was still married, or let me say he is still married. So on the basis of these things, it's been reported that his wife actually didn't want to be with him anymore, and she wanted to leave the marriage, but they were still together at the point of this incident. And this incident is just about 2 or 3 days old, as at November 2023. And you will see in the viral video, this Ntembeko Myalois, the 32-year-old husband, attacking his wife in public on campus with a knife and going at her as though there was nothing to it, to the point he was able to inflict 20 different stab wounds on her. This came just a day after another person in the same country of South Africa had also gone at somebody else in public with a knife because he had a vendetta against the person. It looks like there's a lot of chaos going around with public attacks and people seeking vengeance. But then I digress. Even though we know the background story, it still doesn't really explain why the husband would rather be going against the wife with a knife. But let me clarify why. So the wife wanted to leave him because of his sexual assault cases against him and the intense domestic violence he has been allegedly perpetrating against her. So it is reported that on this fateful day, although they were still together, his wife actually went on a date with another man. And when Ntembeko Myalois got to know of this, he got furious and he attacked his wife the moment she got back. And the result is what we are seeing in the viral video online. I wouldn't post that here because it's against YouTube's graphic policy. But that is where the case is. And they are students of two separate institutions. His wife is a student of the Cape Peninsula University of Technology, whereas Ntembeko Myalois is a registered student at the University of Western Cape. Now he's in court, and I don't know how he's going to beat this because the video evidence is very clear. There are people who are also trying to argue a sort of defense for him, that, oh, maybe there's more to the case or whatever. Yeah, that could be true. There could be more to the case actually. But first of all, what he is doing cannot be self-defense. So whatever there is to that case that we are yet to know, it still doesn't justify to any extent why he would be going at his wife like that with a knife in public, also irrespective. But again, like I said, no defense can save this guy. Whatever there is to it, I think that there are ways he could have gone about this where he wouldn't even have to attack his wife. There are legal ways they can go. They could just get a divorce and then he battles out his rape case and then they make arrangements for the custody of the kid. But for you to be on a charge of sexual assault, well, we don't know whether he's guilty of that or not, because in law, he's still assumed innocent until he's proven guilty by a competent court. But that alone is something that can rock a marriage. So it's understandable his wife wanted to leave him, coupled with the fact that there are reports that he's a very violent person and he has been inflicting heavy domestic violence on his wife. But I think that's how he should have approached it. And for his wife also, I don't know, but I think maybe it would have been just better. Knowing how this guy is, it would have been just better. You finalize your divorce, you end it, and you are free to just go about what you have to do or what you want to do without him having that hold on you because he's still your husband. Someone would argue about this, but I think that for her own sanity, she just needed to come out of this fully so she doesn't end up triggering this guy who would come again to bother her like he did, to this extent where he's now brandishing a weapon against her. It's very unfortunate, and I'm following the case, waiting to see how it will play out. Now, when Ntembeko Myalois came to court, it seemed like he was trying to hide his face from the cameras, but I don't know how that would help him because he's actually all over. We know what he's done, and it's very unfortunate because if these things are going on, don't forget they already have one kid. What happens to their kid? The internet, they say, never forgets. If this kid grows up to see this footage of what her dad or what his dad is doing to his mom, and how do you think it's going to play out? The trauma. Fortunately, his wife actually survived and is on admission under intensive care receiving treatment. That is good news, but it doesn't change the fact that he should face justice for what he has done. But I was talking about the trauma that could put the child in a very bad situation as a result of this. I don't know why some marriages get to this point. It's difficult, honestly, as dynamics change and other things come about. But I think that couples have a duty to each other and especially to their children to try and settle disputes in a more amicable way. Nobody knows it all. There are times some may make mistakes, but I think that couples need to learn from their mistakes and draw a line where things don't escalate beyond to get to this point where it's bloody and physical and threat of death is all coming in, because at the end of the day, honestly, everybody loses. Look at this guy. He's currently in court. He might be sentenced to jail. He might do a life imprisonment. I don't know. But either way, the law is going to deal with him. Look at his wife. Intensive care. Now, what happens to their kid? The home is literally sort of destroyed. All because of what? Somebody couldn't control his or her sexual urges and has gotten himself involved in a rape incident. I think that people need to wake up and take marriage more seriously, because it's something that can make or unmake you. And if you're a spouse watching this, sit back, reflect on your own marriage, and try to find out how you can make it better by first improving on your shit and then making sure you play your role solidly in helping build your home for yourself, for your spouse, and for your kids. I'm following these keys as and when updates are due. I definitely will bring it, but I hope that he doesn't escape the law. I don't know how he would escape this. I don't think he has a chance to do so. Subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. Turn on the post notifications, and hey, I'll catch you in the next one.